As we edge closer to the European Championships, the question on everybody's lips is, can Croatia win Euro 2020? In this video, we're going to see just how far they can go in this summer's spectacular. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, it's all about Euro 2020 as we take a look at a nation's hopes of the tournament this summer. We'll see just how far they get, of course, in my eyes, when the tournament kicks off in June. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the VIPs, the patrons behind the scenes. Thank you for your continued support. I do appreciate that, guys. And of course, if you want to join yourselves, check out the links down below, patreon.com/. But today, it's all about Croatia. That's right, boys and girls, and hopefully at the end of this video we'll let you we'll answer two simple questions if I can get them out there. Of course, can Croatia win Euro 2020, and will Croatia win 2020 Euros? Of course, well, we'll hope to find that out in not too long. But of course, let's take a look at how Croatia got to the Euros. Of course, here they are now. Of course, they did manage to get through as Group E winners, coming on top of a very difficult group here. If you look at it, as four of those nations actually made the Euros. 4 out of 5 made the Euros. So you know what? Despite Croatia's, what's the word? Since they made the World Cup final, they've kind of been a bit of a wobbly sort of team. They've not really shown that quality that made them a World Cup finalist since 2018. I think they've been a bit of a ropey-dopey kind of side, but of course they come out of this group top by 3 points, but again, it was not an amazing performance overall for Croatia. Again, don't get me wrong, they are a tricky nation, and I do anticipate them to do very, very well in this group alongside England, alongside the Czechs, alongside of course the Scots as well. I think Croatia are going to be one of those that you don't really want to play, but yeah, they've done enough in a very, very tricky group. They sealed the deal on the 16th of November 2019, and this is their 6th tournament as a whole. They've been there 5 times prior, of course, maybe under the guise of Yugoslavia, maybe, but anyway, as a independent nation, they were there in 96, 2004, 2008, 2012, and 2016. With their, I don't know what their best performance was. Let me know in the comment section. Of course, their manager is Zlatko Dalic. Of course, currently ranked Croatia in the world 11th. Used to be ranked as high as 3rd. The key man, we'll take it in a minute. The key man for me is still Luka Modric. That's right. He might be getting on a bit, of course. He ain't as young as he used to be, but still, when push comes to shove, if you want to pick a midfield duo, trio, quartet, whatever it is, Modric is your first name on the sheet. I think he's still got this tournament in him. I still think he'll be there for Qatar as well in 2022, and then I think you've got to start rebuilding Qatar after that. But of course, it's not just Luka Modric. They do have a whole host of other key players that could be key moving forward. They've got Ribic as well, a creative little player for Croatia. They've also got some really good defensive personnel as well. So Mateo Kovacic as well from Chelsea upon the streaks. Marcelo Brozovic as well, similar sort of role to him. Then also when you look back, you got Duje Kalataka, of course, from Marseille's books, key centre back as well. And Dominik Livanovic is your man between the sticks these days for Croatia in a very, very decent sort of team. Of course, some of the old boys have gone. Mandzukic is no longer there, but he's still got Peskovic, or whatever his name is, Perisic, that's the one, not Peskovic. Brozovic as well, knocking around as well. There's still some of the old bigger players that we're familiar with from, of course, Russia in 2018. So let's take a look at Croatia's record compared to everybody else's then, in the grand scheme of things, as they qualify. They did actually qualify ranked 10th. Alongside other nations, better than the Dutch, better than the Russians, better than the Portuguese, and of course better than the Swedes, of course, but not as good as the Polish or the French. But what about their passage potentially to the latter stages? They are in Group D alongside England, Scotland, and of course the Czechs, and of course they'll kick off their campaign with a match against England, which will be of course a bit of a heavy encounter. Of course, England and Scotland have a little bit of positivity going into this, as they will be both host nations for this tournament. Of course, England will have their three group games in England, and of course Scotland will have 2 of their 3 in Scotland as well, with the Czechs and the Croatians pissing in the wind a little bit, especially if there's fans in the stands, of course, and travel might be limited. You just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. And again, if it is a fans in the stand predominantly, and the travel is not allowed or limited, heavily backed by the host nations. So Croatia and the Czechs will have a bit of work to do to convince those fans that they deserve to go to get the 3 points. Anyway, the key match for me is against Scotland. They can afford to lose against England, and they can afford to maybe drop points against the Czechs, but they must beat Scotland. If they get the 3 points against Scotland, guess what? They'll have a tippy toe into the next round already. Of course, the top 2 teams will go through automatically. The third best team is a bit of a guess. You just don't know. You'll be waiting. That's the thing as well. You'll be waiting until the conclusion of all the games. Of course, unless they're all taking place at the same time, I don't think they are. But you could play this game, but you're still waiting on conclusion of Group E to see how they fare on. Of course, you just don't know. There'll be a waiting. And again, this is the last game for Croatia in the group stages, so it'll be a difficult one for them. But I do anticipate them to be a stubborn team. Of course, they can beat England. They can easily beat the Czechs, and they should beat the Scots. But they could also lose all of those. They're that sort of nation that you don't anticipate them. It's not a guarantee that they'll win these games, but they'll be there. They'll be competing, and I do anticipate them to be in the top 2 if I'm pushed to make a prediction of where they will finish. What about the bookies then? What do the bookies think about the Croatians? Of course, 5-1 to qualify on this one, 5-1 on. Sorry, so they are stone cold up there to be it. How about to win the piston thing? 25-1. I've seen bigger odds, of course, for other nations. So Croatia are considered to be in amongst the top half of the teams, and I do anticipate them to at least get past the old group stages. But can Croatia win it? Yes, they certainly can. They can certainly win it. But when you look at the team, they do lack a really out-and-out striker. No Davasuka these days. And of course, Nikola Kalinic, former Rover, kind of shot himself in the foot in the World Cup by a bit of an outburst or whatever he did wrong. I can't really remember what he did. But of course, got himself basically suspended. And of course, I think he's now packed it in. But they've been pinning their hopes on Kalinic, Andrej Kalinic from Hoffenheim to score the goals. He's 29 years old these days. Rebic maybe from the wing. But to be fair, you're scrambling to find goals in this team. So, and then there's a lot of veterans. There are still a lot of veterans knocking around, which can be good, but it can also be a bit stagnant, of course. So we'll see how they fare with that. But yes, they can. They definitely can win it. But will they? No, they can. They will not win it. They will not win it. For me, I do see the Croatians bowing out quite far, though. They're going quite far to the quarterfinals. Of course, they'll get themselves out of this group quite comfortably. They'll probably land themselves a decent second round match, and then again, I think they'll tumble out of the quarterfinals. But that's what I think. Of course, let me know what you think about the Croatians' opportunities this summer down below. There you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitch, and I'm even on Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. Again, we'll be covering the tournament extensively over the summer. Of course, we've got watch-alongs, previews, predictions, of course, all of that stuff, and many, many more. So make sure you, of course, smash your subscribe. And while you're at it, give the video a big old fat thumbs up. Again, I'll see you all very soon for another one tomorrow. Until then, well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, we'll have exclusive coverage for Euro 2020 over on the channel. Of course, we'll have match previews, match reviews, of course, watch-alongs and all kinds of stuff, including predictions as well. No. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I'm on Twitter, Twitch. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, if you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, make sure you check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms are on there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, on Twitch as well. And if you want to check me out at Patreon, you can check that out as well. Also, exclusive and extensive coverage of Euro 2020 this summer on the channel. We'll have, of course, previews. We'll have predictions, of course, watch-alongs as well. And, of course, we might even get a reappearance of Cass, the predicting cat, the real cat, not DigiCass. But, of course, lots of stuff on the channel. So make sure you give the video a big old fat thumbs up while you're at it, and of course make sure you smash the subscribe. Until then, I'll see you all very soon for another one. Until then, I'm out.